Hello, I'm Mario Toneguzzi, Senior News Editor of Retail Insider. Joining me today is Michael Kehoe, who is broker and owner of Fairfield Commercial Real Estate in Calgary. Thanks for joining us today, Mike.
Thanks for inviting me, Mario.
We're going to talk retail and retail trends and what you're seeing in the market these days. But first of all, I was going to ask you, Mike, how is 2024 shaping up in the world of the consumer real estate market?
Well, in the Canadian consumer real estate market, it's a page right out of a Charles Dickens novel, where it's the best of times, with robust leasing activity, lots of new construction of retail space. And, leasing activity has been very strong with new retail brands entering the Canadian market, along with sales surges in the luxe and value sectors. It's been very interesting to observe that. Certainly, the best of times in Alberta continue with significant population growth, driving new household formation that's increasing retail and restaurant sales.
Mhm.
Um, I guess Charles Dickens would agree, uh, that it's the worst of times for some retailers as mild fall and winter weather in some parts of the country, and for many has resulted in underwhelming and lackluster sales performance. But retail sales were up in some sectors and disappointing in others. So
Mm.
that's a brief snapshot of what I'm seeing here early in 2024.
All right. What are the challenges that businesses in the retail sector and in the food and beverage industry are still facing right now?
Well, many retailers are challenged with controlling their overhead, particularly the cost of wages and salaries, escalating rents and occupancy costs. Other challenges like high interest rates, supply chain issues, the payback of pandemic era government loans, slimmer tenant improvement incentives, and now rising theft and shrinkage are some of the challenges. There's definitely a flight to quality locations across the retail spectrum as retailers uh, renew leases, relocate, and open new stores.
All right. And Mike, where do we go from here when we're looking into 2024? What trends do you see emerging for this year?
Well, the major challenges in 2024 will be catching the consumer's attention amid all the noise and of doom and gloom in the media with recessionary talk, geopolitical events, that include two wars that are
Yeah.
ongoing. Um, Consumer confidence is critical, so retailers need to stand out. What I'm seeing, where we go, the concept of organized retail over the past 900 years, it's evolved into what we now refer to as shopping centers. And here we are in 2024, and it's definitely a landlord's market. That's what I'm seeing, not only in Alberta, but in other provinces. No surprises there.
Mm.
Um, Over my 45 plus years in the industry, I can say that the pace of change right now is really unprecedented. Um, the ability of today's sophisticated shopping center owners to quickly cycle space to new and fresh retail and food service concepts is really impressive.
Mm.
This ensures that the shopping centers remain relevant to consumer tastes and needs with fresh offerings and experiences.
Mm.
And consumers are always changing, their needs are always evolving, and you know, consumers have many shopping and dining options. So it's important that building owners keep their offerings fresh. You know, I guess I'm expecting in 2024 that it'll be a year of robust leasing activity across the country, especially in Alberta. There's a constant churn of stores and restaurants coming and going. Um, on the human capital side of the business, as a consumer real estate broker, I see many of my industry colleagues that have jumped ship changed firms, walked the plank, or just faded away. It's interesting to watch this process, especially right now in these changing times. In
Mm,
retail brokerage, there was a significant shuffling of the deck over the past year that I've noticed as brokers, and sometimes entire teams changed firms or created new ventures on their own. Um, I'm seeing that the large brokerage firms absorb smaller firms and compete for market share. Many of the big national brokerage firms uh, know that it takes more than a big brand acronym and a fancy website to retain talent and stay competitive. So
mm,
that's a trend that I've been seeing. One final point to make so that we can watch for the emergence of net zero retail in
mm,
shopping center construction and retail store and restaurant build outs. It's going to be an interesting trend to see evolve. This is sure to drive up costs, so I'm
mm,
watching that closely. And the retail and food service business is always changing.
mm.
It's a Darwinian struggle at the best of times, and it's no longer a matter of the survival of the fittest. It's survival of the innovative and the quick to adapt to change and new trends. As shopping center landlords focus on tenant financial covenants, um, and in 2024, it's going to be the year of the financially stable. So there are definite headwinds and challenges for retailers and food service brands, and the industry is always changing. So it's going to be interesting to watch.
So, Michael, I just going back, one of the things you said, it's a landlord's market. Why is it a landlord's market right now?
Well, there's a real shortage of retail and restaurant space. So there's always demand for this type of space. Sometimes there are multiple offers on locations that come up.
Mm,
And so it's a landlord's market. They can command market rents. And what we're seeing is tenant improvement packages are becoming smaller. And yeah, I think landlords are capitalizing on this. And at this point in time, the pendulum is definitely on the landlord side.
all right. The other last question I wanted to ask you is, there has been a lot of turmoil, obviously, since the pandemic in the whole industry. A lot of closures of businesses, but a lot of businesses open up, right, in both retail and food and beverages. So, what's the appeal for, even with all these challenges out there, like economic challenges? What's the appeal for people starting up a new restaurant, starting up a new retail shop?
Well, trends are always changing, and entrepreneurs are always seeking great locations. There's always demand for retail space, especially here in Alberta. It's a very entrepreneurial province. We see since the pandemic ended and we've evolved into this sort of post-pandemic period, a lot of firms have changed ownership, partnerships have dissolved. This frees up entrepreneurs to start new ventures. Yeah, there's always demand for space. New stores and restaurants expanding. It's exciting to watch. It's an evolutionary process. To the untrained eye, when you drive by or walk a shopping center, you see a row of stores or um, often the changes so quickly. It changes so quickly you don't even notice, but it is exciting to watch.
All right, super. Thanks, Mike, for joining us today.
Thanks for inviting me, Mario. Have a good day.
You too. That was Michael Kehoe, broker owner of Fairfield Commercial Real Estate in Calgary. I'm Mario Toneguzzi, senior news editor with Retail Insider. Thanks for joining us today.